Hello YouTube, welcome to Curious Me channel. This is Shabazz Khan, and in this video we will discuss passing data to views. And this video is continuation from our previous videos, and the link to the playlist is in description down below and also here as well. Now in previous video we discussed what are the different mechanisms using which we can get our views. Now in this video we'll discuss how we can use our views and data together. Now there are two ways to pass data to views. One is strongly typed and another one is weakly typed. So let's discuss strongly typed first. Now in order to discuss strongly typed, let's head back to our application, and here let's open our controller. Let's open our block controller, and here you can see that I have removed this code that I was using previously, and we are just now returning view without any data. So let's get back to our views inside our blog. I have removed other CSS/HTMLs as well because we will not use those. So inside here, we'll see we have one index. Okay. Now what is strongly typed is I'll tell my view that please accept an instance of type blog posts. Okay. Now basically what I'm telling is that I'll send this model to you. You can use this model to create your HTML. This is what I'm saying. And all the C# code in CSS/HTML starts with an @. Okay. So if I write directly model, it will not work. I have to write @ and then model, and then say which model's instance should this view expect. So I'm telling blog post. Okay. Once I have done that, I can access, wait, let me just quickly copy this. Yeah. So once I have done that, once I have told view that this instance will come, I can use all the members of this class by simply writing @model with capital M. Okay. MODEL dot, and you can see I can access all the members of this blog post class. Okay. And let's use this quickly. Okay. So I have written a very simple code, and I'm telling that let's display the title, description, and created date. Okay. So this is done. Basically what I'm telling is use this. I'll be giving you the instance of this object. Use that object and display all this data from that object. Simple. So let's go ahead and go inside our block controller. Now we can simply pass the instance of the object like this. That's it. Because we are already getting this object here, and we are creating this model, and we'll simply pass this model to the view. And this view knows that it is getting a model of this type. Okay. And this view and the Razor engine will generate a view for us. Okay. So let's save this entire code and let's see what happens. And before we do that, let me just tell you. So I'm using this repository to get the post by ID as 2. And we know, like, we have one repository here. Now inside models, we have our repository, right? And here we have hard coded the blog post. So we should ideally get the second post. Okay. So let's go ahead and run this. Our application is running. So let's get back to the browser. Let's refresh this. The moment you refresh, you'll see you get something. Let me quickly make it presentable. So let's go to views, index, and just add a break tag. Now in Visual Studio, you can just press Control and then, you can press Alt and then have multiple cursors. So I'll just write break. That's it. Let's save it. Let's rerun. Okay. Let's go back to our browser, refresh this. And here you can see our title is second blog, description is blog to show off models, and created date is also giving us the date. Okay. Now let's minimize this, and let's discuss why this is strongly typed. Okay. This is strongly typed because I know that this is the instance that I'm getting, and I'm creating my view based on the members of these instance. and the moment I write @model, I get all the members of this class via IntelliSense. Okay, so this is one of the benefits of doing strongly typed. This is strongly typed, okay, because we know all of the members, like this is string, this is string, this is date, time. We know everything while writing the code itself. Okay, the advantage of strongly typed is you can get the error at the time of compilation or at the time of writing the code itself, because you cannot write titles here by mistake also. Why? Because this will give you the error right away, because it will say that, hey, you don't have a member called titles in this model or in this class. So you straight away get the error, and there is no chance of you making a mistake. Okay, so that was all about strongly typed. So let's discuss weakly typed data. And in weakly typed data, we don't explicitly declare the type of data that we are using. Now, there are two types of weakly typed data that you can pass to your views. One is view data, and another one is view bag. So let's go back to our controller. First, we'll discuss view data, and then we'll discuss view bag. Now, passing data via view data is very simple. You just type in view data and then give a key. Now, first key is my first of. Okay. Now, simply what I'm doing here is I have declared two keys. First key is title, second key is blog. And in the first key I have stored the title of my blog, and in the second key I'm storing the data of the model itself. Okay. This is all that I need to do to pass data to the view via view data. That's it. I can remove this blog from here. Now this view data is accessible to you if you are inheriting from this controller. Okay. Now let's go back to our blog view, and inside view, let's remove this. Okay. Let's use the title, view data title. Simply we can use it like this. First we have to give the @. That's it. Okay. Now let's keep this inside our header. Done. Now we can use this view data title. Okay. Let's remove this code. Alt click will give you multiple cursors. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll write @view data, simple, and I'll try to access the data that we are passing from here. And the name of that key was blog data, if I'm not wrong. Okay. Now let's go back here and see, yeah, it was blog data, but with capital D. Sorry. You have to be careful because this is case sensitive. Okay. So these keys, they are case sensitive. Now view data is nothing but a dictionary. It stores value. Actually, it is view data dictionary, and it stores value in keys. So key and then value. Okay. Now let's try to access this blog and the blog variables. So what are the blog variables? Title, description, and created on. Let's try to use it. And the moment you type, you'll get an error. Okay. So what is the error? The error will say object does not contain a definition for title. Why you are getting this error? Because whenever you are saving this view data, it will always store as an object. Okay. It will always store all the values as an object, and you have, in order to access specific classes, you have to cast this view data. Now, how can we cast this? Now to cast this, we have to, I'll declare a code block by giving @ and curly braces and enter. Now here I can write my C# code. Okay. Now to write C# code, what I'll do, I'll declare a variable as var and then x. Inside here, I'll copy this view data, blog data. Let's save this. Let's paste this, and then I'll cast this as blog posts. Done. That's all I need to do. Now, instead of this view data, let me use alt click. I can simply use, can you guess what? Let me remove this. Sorry. You have to be careful with alt. So anyways, we can use directly the x dot title. I'll again get IntelliSense because I have already cast this dot description, and then I can write x dot created on. Simple. This is how you can use view data. Now string, integer, you don't have to cast them. You can simply write that. But when you are using your Poco classes, then you have to cast them. Okay. So let's go ahead and save this. Now let's run this application. Okay, our application is running. So let's head back to our browser. Okay. Now let's refresh this. Now here you can see we are getting the title and all the description and created on, just like we were getting earlier in strongly typed. So this is how you can use view data. Okay. And this is weakly typed because we are casting this inside view. And when I'm sending this, we are not explicitly declaring any kind of blog posts or anything whatsoever. I can directly use this here also. We are not declaring this as string or declaring this as blog posts. We are directly creating a key and then storing the value. That's it. Okay. So this is view data. Now let's discuss view bags. Okay. View bags are very as simple as view data. It's nothing different. So to declare view bag, what we do is we directly use the view bag. Okay. Now you can use dot and then give the name of your key. Now I'll give the name of the key as view bag data. Okay. Now I'll save the data of blog in it. Simple. So what I have done here is I have used the view bag. Now view bag is dynamic. Now in C#, dynamic objects, you can directly use dot and write your key and member, and it will work. Okay. So basically view bag data, what I'm doing here is I'm adding a view bag data member and then assigning blog as its value. Okay. Now to use this, I'll simply go to view. Now instead of this X, alt click, let's remove click from here. So instead of this X, what I'll do is I'll simply write here view bag dot, and our member is view bag data. Okay. That's it. That's all I have to do. Now let's go back, view bag data. Let's cross check this, and that's it. We can directly use this title. This is one of the big advantage of view bag. You don't have to cast it. Okay. Because this is of type dynamic, you can directly use the variable name, the member of the object which is stored in view data by simply giving the dot. Okay. So let's save this and let's run this. Okay. Now it is running. Let's open our application, refresh this, and you can see it is still working. There is no error whatsoever, because we are simply giving the data to view and we are accessing it here. That's it. Now one of the major drawbacks of view bag is, since this is type dynamic, you don't have IntelliSense. So if I can write here S, titles, okay, descriptions, so these are errors, and this will not come at compile time. So if I run the application, it will build, it will compile perfectly, and the application will start running. Okay, see, our application is running now. Now when I go and run this code, and try to access this page again, then at that time we will get an error. Okay, so this titles is not accessible, or it is not present in this view bag data. So this is one of the drawbacks of using view bag, because it does not give you compile time errors. It always gives you runtime errors. This is one of the major drawbacks of this view bag. Okay. So I think this is clear. View bag and view data, these are weakly typed data types. Sorry, using view bag. Okay. So one more interesting thing that I'll tell you is, view bag is nothing but a wrapper on top of view data dictionary. So when you are fetching data like this, okay, you are fetching data from view data dictionary, and view bag is also fetching data from the same place. So which means that view bag can access this blog data and title also, and vice versa. View data can access this view bag also. Now to check this, let's run. So now to check this, we can quickly test. let's open our this is our blog view. Now what I'll do is I'll simply use this key, okay, but not in view bag. I'll use this key in view data, and I'm casting this in X. Let's quickly use Alt click, Control Shift arrow, and I'll write X. That's it. So basically I'm using view bag's key in view data, and vice versa. What I'll do is I'll use view data's key in view bag. So I'll write here view bag dot title. Now all of these keys are case sensitive. Okay, this key, all of these keys are case sensitive. So be aware while writing this. Now again, let's revise. So what we did is we are using view bag's key in view data and view data's key in view bag, just to confirm that they both share the same data source. Okay, so this is done. We are using view bag and all of this. Let's stop this application. Let's run this. Okay, now our application is running. Let's open our application, refresh this, and here you can see it runs fine. There is no exception. Let me open them side by side. By opening side by side, you can see even though we are using view bag data in view data and title in view bag, we can still run this code perfectly without any errors. And this confirms that this view bag and view data, they share the common data source, and view bag is nothing but a wrapper on top of this view data dictionary, okay, which converts everything to dynamic, and you can directly access with a dot rather than writing this sort of code. Okay, so this is a basic example of weakly typed data passing to your views. And this is weakly typed because we are not, this is weakly typed because we are not telling what kind of data we are passing to the view. We are just declaring a key and then passing the value itself. And then in the view, we either cast it or we, leave it to faith in case of view bag. So that's why it is called weakly typed data passing to views. Okay, so I hope this data passing to views was clear enough. And if it was not, just leave your questions in the comment box and I'll try to answer. Okay, so now let's wrap it up here, and please give it a like if you liked this video, and please subscribe for more videos. And yeah, thank you. Have a great day ahead. Bye bye.